Hey everyone, Steve here again at Midlife ADV 1972. I'm coming at you from Logging Road in northwestern Ontario, about 80 kilometers outside of Fort Frances. Middle of May, 16th I think. And I don't know if you can see them, but we got bugs already. Some kind of little fly unit. I don't know what they are. Not mosquitoes, but little black fly. And they're nasty. Anyways, here again, the mighty T7. I've never been happier with a purchase. I'm just shy of 2,000 kilometers on it. Just done some regular maintenance. Did my first oil change about 1,000 kilometers ago. And I couldn't be happier. This is kind of, this is, for the lack of a better word, God's country. It's not a place I've ever been before. I grew up in this area where a lot of people hunt and fish. Wasn't a real big thing in my life. I did do some of it with my grandfather at a younger age, but not a lot. So these areas are kind of new to me, whereas a lot of people around here have been to these places hunting and fishing. I have not, so I'm out exploring. This is a whole new world for me, and I gotta tell you, I couldn't be happier. Took off from work today. Seemed like a good day. It's the Friday before the long weekend, so I thought, why not? Let's have an extra long weekend. So got up this morning. Weather sucks. Big storm last night. Power was out at my house for about 2 hours. Spent a little bit of time worrying about no power and the sump pumps being off, but the good people at our power corporation got the power back up, and there was no damage. Woke up this morning, looked at the weather, could have spent the day on the couch, but I thought, you know what, if it rains, it rains. It's going to prep me for my Alaska adventure, so I geared up, and you know what, so far just a few drizzles. And let's talk a little bit about this bike that I bought. Like I said, I am not a motorcycle expert and off-road rider by any means. There are a million reviews out there of this motorcycle. It's very, very popular. For those of you who don't know, this is a 2025 Tenere 700. I bought it brand new, picked it up about 5 or 6 weeks ago. Up here in northwestern Ontario, when I picked it up, we still had snow. So I haven't put a pile of mileage on it, but I have managed to put, like I said, just shy of 2,000 kilometers on it. And what to say about it? You watch all these reviews from these guys, and I think, they're influencers, or they're better skilled than I am, or, they're critical of it, or they've had other better bikes. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, if you are considering an adventure motorcycle, I guess they call these a middleweight because it's like a 700cc. Compared to the GS's, the big BMWs, much lighter, I think much more user-friendly. And one of the reasons I picked this bike was because of the size. I have dropped it a couple times, was able to pick it up. That was another thing I was worried about, being able to pick it up. And reliability, I was very worried about. You really don't hear anything bad about reliability on these motorcycles. I believe they came out in 2019, but I'm not sure when they came to North America. I heard 2021, but I'm not 100% positive of that. And besides, I guess some recent, they had some issues in like 22, 23, 24 with clutch plates sticking together, which Yamaha did a recall, and they're fixing that up. This bike doesn't have that issue. What I have been doing is, like everybody else, I've been watching these YouTube videos and I've been experimenting with different ride modes on this motorcycle. A lot of people online say they kind of ruined the motorcycle with the ride modes. What they did do is, I guess because of this Euro 5 emissions, they went to throttle by wire, which allowed them to add a rear traction control. Along with that, it has ABS, which you can shut off. So what you can do with this, you can turn the traction control on and off. You can turn ABS off front and rear, or ABS off just rear. I've experimented with a few. Like I said, not a very experienced off-road motorcyclist. A couple weeks ago, I didn't show you a video of it, but I was out and did a little bit of muck, some dirty roads, tried it with ABS off front and rear, ABS off just in the rear, with traction control, without traction control. And I've kind of decided, for my abilities and my kind of riding, leaving the front ABS on, turning the ABS off in the rear, and as of now, just kind of experimenting with the traction control on and off. Today, what I have is front ABS on, rear ABS off, and traction control on. I've watched reviews where they say when you turn off the traction control, when you get into some steep grades or muddy stuff, that it limits the power. I don't find that personally. I just came up a few little hills here and nothing crazy, but you know what? It makes me feel very, very confident. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm 53 years old, so don't want to hurt myself. Would rather not lay it down out here in the middle of nowhere and get hurt, but it's doing everything I expect it to do. And that's who I want to relate to, people like me, what I would expect it to do. I want to relate to you guys out there that are maybe, late 40s, 50s, 60s. And we're not these guys you see on there that can jump these things and everything else. We're just normal guys, maybe looking for something, to excite us and get us up in the morning. And that's what this is for me. So this is my 2,000 kilometer review of this bike. It's been flawless. I have zero issues with it. And, well, that's not true. I did have one issue, but it was me, and it's something I'm going to rectify. So let's address that just for 1 second. About a month ago when I was riding, I got in a little over my head. Let me put my helmet down there so I don't break it. And I did lay the bike down, and right here, this handguard, let's see if I can get a little better picture of it. Right here, broke. That being said, it's not a defect. These aren't really meant to add a lot of protection. I do believe, they're basically for wind protection and to help your hands. I will be getting some kind of an aftermarket one here shortly. Like everything, as I go along and get some upgrades. But that's the only thing that's kind of failed on this bike, and it's not the bike, it's me. I laid it down and it broke. So again, I'm going to say it one more time. Couldn't be happier with this motorcycle. As far as I'm concerned, it's absolutely flawless, and it does everything I believe Yamaha has designed it to do. I guess that's all I really got for you today. I might do another video today as I explore. I'm about 120 kilometers into it. I'm gonna kind of play and see what the fuel range is. I filled up before I left, and I set the trip count down at 300 kilometers. I suspect I can get 300 kilometers out of it for sure. With the recent experience I've had, I'm gonna I think ride around until I've got about 150 left on the trip counter, and I'm going to go home. So until my next video, whether it's today or it's tomorrow or next week, I just want to remind you, you're never too old to do some cool shit. Peace.